Well, hello guys. I'm looking to figure out the orientation on this. So give me a minute while I do that. I know there's a way to do it. Well, you guys can see the lake. Hey guys, yeah, so I'm trying to get this thing to flip so I can, do it this way. It says orientation is locked, so let me figure out why that is. I'll leave it to me to not be able to figure it out. All right, we'll hit up the comments. Wisconsin Anderson, it's going. Truck and Tim, I miss you guys too. Lars is here. No noise. Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? Okay. People can hear me. Cool. Well, thank you guys for showing up. If I could fix the orientation on this, I would. I thought I had it set correctly when I started, but it's very apparent that I didn't. So, sorry. Bear with me. But yeah, I just want to catch you guys up because it's been a while. And that's my fault for a couple of reasons. First of all, I have way too many projects on my plate and I was trying to do too much at once. So unfortunately, after the last video I put up, things kind of snowballed for me. And I ended up spending way too much money on swapping Brian Vantana out after just spending way too much money on getting the transmission swapped. I just decided I don't want to deal with the transmission anymore. So I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and do a full engine and trans swap, and I did. A few things needed to be purchased. I purchased those items and have yet to get back to completely finishing it. So I've got, I would say 3/4, well, 5/8, no, probably 7/8 of a video ready to show you Brian Vantana going V6 to V8. And I just didn't want to put the video out until it was done. And I know that's my fault. I should have done it. Well, in the midst of that, I have probably 1/3 of a video on old Rusty Ricardo, the square body, getting him going from, running and driving to let's make him nice again. And I've started that one and he's still sitting. Then stupidly, I bought a boat. I mean, I live at the lake. It is beautiful here. And I felt like I needed to get a boat. And I picked the absolute cheapest, worst boat you could find. But one rule here in Oklahoma, it has to have a title. So I searched for weeks to find a boat in the midst of working on all the other projects. And instead of spending the money on finishing those projects, I spent the money on the boat. I spent a whole $400 on it, but it came with a title. And in the process, I spent probably another $1,000 just to get it to where it is today. Well, right now, it's in this shop trying to stay dry because I wanted to fix a little spot in the floor that was soft and kind of rotted, and then decided to chase the rot until I have no floor left. So, boat's inside where it's staying dry. I've got the fans on it to dry it out. It'll get a new floor, then hopefully we get to water test it, and once that's done, here comes the video. So that's hopefully coming up in the next week. In the middle of all this, I got COVID. Got really, really, really sick. And all I can say is it happens, it sucks. It's part of not only life, but it's part of my job. And that slowed me down as well. That's why I'm not the hardest working YouTuber on, the internet. That's gonna remain Dalton. He's the hardest working YouTuber. Yeah, my hat goes off to him. And Jay has been pumping out the videos at Irish Outlaw Garage, and just want to say, if you guys aren't subscribed to him, head over there and check him out, because he's got some good stuff and cool cars. So I'm going to catch up on the chats. JB, I see you in the chat. I see Cousin Mike's here. Yep, thank you guys for hanging in there. I will get videos, and they are going to be I'm going to start churning them out. A couple other things. So once I got, a little bit over COVID enough to go out and work on stuff, then I realized I need some money. So I decided I'm pretty much going to just stay here in Oklahoma. The laws are better, the taxes are better. It's just better here. Let's just say that. And so after several inquiries from folks, I went ahead and put my house up on the market, and it sold in less than a week. So I went from having that burden on me to now that house is sold, and it's supposed to close this month. And once it's closed, I am going to roll that money over into a shop of my own, so I don't have to borrow somebody else's. But also, you're going to see a little bit more money being used for projects that go on YouTube. So hopefully you guys will get the benefit of that by getting to see more content, more cars, and more road trips. Now, Jay from Irish Outlaw Garage and Dalton, they've been asking me about duct tape drags. I did it last year, absolutely loved it, want to do it again. Unfortunately, that's the one weekend that I have been banned from taking off from work, and there's just nothing I can do about it. It's unfortunate that that's the way it was set up, but it was one of those that the boss told us months ago that we couldn't take off, and I knew that duct tape drags was going to end up landing on that exact weekend, and it's just those 3 days that I can't have off, and that happens to be the 3 days of duct tape drags. So sure enough, once they announced duct tape drags, that's when the weekend was, and now I'm stuck. So I want to be there, but maybe we can throw together some stuff before, after, whenever. I'm about to have a lot more ability to do more. So not only do I have this shop that I'm borrowing for now, but building my own over the winter, and we'll put that in video for you guys to see. And there's going to be a lot more content, and after not putting any out, I owe everybody that. So I apologize that I haven't been on the YouTube video scene, but money's been tight and time's been tight. Oh, thanks, Jay. Apparently he's going to be at the EFI booth at Duct Tape Drags. Aces EFI. Yeah, I've heard about Aces. I haven't talked to him or anything yet, but yeah, Cousin Mike, if I could quit and go full-time YouTube, I would, but unfortunately the subscriber count doesn't get you money. Selling merch and sponsorship does. And the last big sponsor I had was for the square body video, and it was a great video. You guys not only watched the video but promoted it, and it got over 100,000 views, and the sponsor agreed to pay me per 1,000 views. Well, when they saw that, they decided they couldn't afford that. So we have been haggling back and forth. Even though I have a signed contract, we've been haggling back and forth about that money. And I can tell you that it still has not been paid. Their contract told me that they were going to pay me 2 months ago. They have not paid me, and they keep telling me they're going to pay me, but it's one of those situations where I appreciated getting the sponsorship, but I'd like to get paid. That money would be, immediately put into vehicles and videos, but I can't do it without that. And I just don't have a lot of excess. So I am selling some vehicles. If you know anybody looking, there's one right there. It's for sale. Unfortunately, the transmission is slipping. It's a 4L60E. I have definitely taxed it over the last couple years by towing other vehicles, and it started slipping and got hot on me. So I pulled over immediately, parked it, and drug it back here. It's got a tow hitch system on the front that I can tow another vehicle, or I can use another vehicle to tow it. Just put the transfer case in neutral and drag it. So I got it back here. I got another transmission in my 2005 Suburban that's just sitting, that I will probably pull out, put in here just to get it sold. It will run and drive like it's supposed to whoever buys it, but somebody wants a really good deal on a decent Avalanche, there it is. I've got a 94 Suburban that I will probably, you know, fix up a little bit and use it for towing until I find something I really want. And in that point, then I'll have a 3/4 ton 94 Suburban for whoever wants it. It'll be out there for sale. Yeah, and then I've got some other stuff that I will probably sell off as well. So if you guys want to support me, I appreciate it. Go buy some merch or buy a car off of me. That would be great. I'm not asking for handouts, but if you can relieve me of some of my hoarding burden, that would be great. And that way I could buy more stuff to hoard and put on video to then probably sell. So, you know, hey, it's all for YouTube, and it's all for you guys, so I appreciate it. Truck and Tim, yeah, so we got the square body originally to be a tow vehicle, but it sat for so long in the field, and it was a farm truck, never really going over dirt road speed. It's got a lot that we got to do to it. So I did get some sponsorships, and like I said, I'm probably at least a good third, if not halfway into that video to fix it up. And I think we're just going to go ahead and punt it to the next guy and find something maybe a little bit better shape to hang on to. I'm all about taking stuff that doesn't work, that people are throwing away, and then spending a little bit of money on it and get it running and driving. But to keep it, I'm going to want something that I don't have to do as much work on. All right, so Mitchell, you got a 68 Bonneville, great year. 61 Scout. I don't know anything about them. I've always wanted to work on one, but I don't have a lot of info on those. So pretty cool. Hunter, you know where the 63 is. It's sitting laid out on air ride right now, waiting for me to rewire it because there's nothing wrong with it. It just needs wired. And I have a brand new wiring harness and everything to do it, but it's 2.5 hours in that direction. So if I can get a vehicle that will tow it down to this shop, I'll put it in this shop and start doing it. I don't want to put it on gravel. I want it on concrete. Jeremy Smith, I have collaborated with Dalton. I've met Kevin and hung out with him as well. Dalton is the reason why I have the subscribers that I have now. And I am not Dalton. I don't put out the same kind of content as Dalton. So I don't always get the views, and that's okay. But I have collaborated with Dalton several times, and I'm sure I will in the future. He's my friend regardless of YouTube. So I'm sure we'll be hanging out. I'd rather go hang out with Jay from Irish Outlaw Garage in the near future because I just really like his cars. Nothing against Dalton's. Dalton's got great stuff, but I don't want to be that guy that just hangs out in Dalton's video all the time because I do love working on his stuff with him. But he's got a fan base he wants to get going, and they don't always want to see me. So more thinking maybe trying to find time to hang out with Jay and go play with some of his cars. But to do that, I've got to get through my stockpile of stuff and get a little bit of money saved up, and hopefully I can do that. Okay, so Wisconsin Andersons, I appreciate you even looking at that second channel. So that second channel was started because I kind of had an uptick in viewers on this channel, and I thought maybe you guys would be hungry for content. So I actually went out and shot an entire video and started editing it and didn't finish it. And the reason why was because I didn't see a lot of attention on that channel. And I know had I had a video there, you guys would be there, right? So instead, I kind of focused on this channel, and in the process then, like I mentioned earlier in this video, everything just kind of happened and videos stopped. There's no reason for that. I can put them out 3/4 finished and I don't think you guys would hate me, but it doesn't work as well on the algorithm. So I have no excuse other than I just haven't done it, and I will get to it. Yeah, Mitchell, we were all worried about Dalton on that Scout Hospital debacle, but I don't think he's quite over it yet, but hopefully he gets better soon. Hunter, the harness I went with was the free one. Somebody sent me one. It is an American-made hot rod style. It's a whole kit. It's got a fuse box, a modern-day fuse box, which is fine. I'm not trying to make this car an original. And tons of wiring, and it's all in English. It's not Chinese, so I appreciate the person that sent that to me. Yes, Jay, I want concrete. I have seen how you work. I have tried to do what you do. I suck at that. I don't want to do that. I could do it for just like a quick getting it running kind of thing, but for working on stuff that I'm keeping, I want concrete. So hence borrowing this shop for now and going to hopefully be building mine very soon. I've already got the dirt work guy contacted, just waiting on the money. Truckin' Tim, working at the YouTube thing can be fun if you're not trying to do it to be, you know, rich or famous. If you're just doing it to talk to your friends and post videos, YouTube's great. If you want to be the next Dalton, Kevin, or even Derek, you have to put a video out minimum every week. It has to be a start to finish video, not a project one project car that you're working on for the next 6 months. It needs to be a, I'm gonna go out and find this vehicle, I'm gonna work on it, and I'm gonna have it running and driving by the end of it. That's the videos that do very, very well. Anything other than that does not do well. And if you're not putting it out at least once a week, you won't hit the algorithm and you won't get the views. When I when I hit up the Facebook and the groups and the Instagram and, you know, putting out a video every week on YouTube, I hit the algorithm and it blows up. I have friends that doesn't happen to, and I don't know why, but that's what works for me. And so when I took a break, I knew I wouldn't be able to put a video out every single week. So I thought, well, I'm going to save them up and then I'm going to put them all out, you know, one right after the other. Hopefully that works. Yeah, Hunter, overtime is not conducive with YouTube. I have definitely tried to remind my coworkers at my real job that I don't want to be there any more than I have to. It's not that I don't like my job. It's not that I, you know, don't want to help anybody out. This is my goal. So unfortunately here lately, overtime has been kicking my butt and there's nothing I can do about it. And hopefully that's gonna taper off here real soon. Let's see. So Hunter, to say that Dalton's made it, I think what it did was it allowed him to have more free time. I'm not gonna speak for him. It definitely gave him more free time, but now money's tight. Now he has to do a lot of things that he pledged he didn't want to do in the beginning. Like, he didn't want the sponsorships. He didn't want to have to use sponsored parts on vehicles. He didn't really want to deal with all of that. Or what's the ads that, I guess he does a couple of different ones where he does ads in the video, which I've done a couple. You have to do those things because YouTube alone isn't going to pay you enough to be out here. You got to sell the merch, which, you know, buffsgarage.com. You got to sell the merch. You got to sell the ads and ad space in your video. You've got to do the sponsored parts. You got to do it all, because once you don't have the fallback of a daily job, this becomes your daily job, and the only way to make it is to make money at it. And You can't make any money unless you're sponsored. And I will say, if, you know, my big sponsor actually pays me, then I will be more likely to take on more. I've had several hit me up, sealskin vehicle covers. Of course, Super Clean's always giving me free stuff, and I appreciate those guys. You know, hey, lug nut guys, they're awesome. They always support me. I even had a Temu contract come into my mailbox. I'm not real excited about dealing with that until I get paid from the other contract. So sponsorship's hard, and I can say that I love all of my sponsors. I love working with them. I love the fact that they love my content and want to sponsor me. That's cool. And I encourage you guys to all check out those sponsors. Unfortunately, when you have to deal with contracts on the back end, it doesn't always go smoothly. So that's the part I don't want to deal with. If I had an agent, that would solve that for me, but I just didn't want to invest in that right now. Maybe in the next 6 months I'll have an agent and I won't have any of these problems, and I'll just be churning out content and everything will be good. Yeah, Jay from Irish Outlaw Garage has great content, awesome vehicles, incredible personality. He knows what he's talking about better than I do for sure. And yet he is fighting for every single sub. So it's just about getting the right person at the right time, hitting that algorithm. And once you get a new subscriber, if they're really into it, they're going to follow and go back and watch every video. And just like was said earlier, I put out a second channel, but I haven't posted the content yet. And the reason why is I'm doing the adventures and I'm videoing them, but I wanted to make sure I had a crowd there so that whenever I put that video out, it's going to catch on. And then I need to be ready with the next one. And the whole point is eventually, when this does become my full-time job, I'm going to have a automotive style video once a week, and I'd like to do an adventure once a week, whatever the adventure is. Maybe I'll go fishing on a, I don't know, some kind of weird fishing trip and take you guys along, or go sightseeing somewhere, or heck, I don't know, I might jump out of a plane. Never done that. That would be a good video, I think. But the whole point is I'm going to go do adventures and video them and share them out. But then that doesn't clog up the algorithm for the car-based stuff, which will be its own channel, and then the adventures on another one. And hopefully it just is one more revenue source, plus I get to go have fun and video it. Yeah, Jeremy, same thing. So he says he's off to medical issues, due to medical issues right now. So, you know, when you get sick and you have to call in to work and they say, oh, by the way, you don't have any more sick leave, you're just not getting paid. And unfortunately, that's just where I'm at. And I used up my PTO making videos and going on trips and doing stuff like that. So I was trying not to use my PTO in case I could get off for duct tape drags, but that's not happening now. So it's hard in today's economy to be able to just say, I don't want to go to work anymore and expect to still get paid. It doesn't work very well. Hunter, I get it, buddy. I've been there where I worked 100-hour weeks, and I can say I know exactly where you're at, and it gets better eventually. Thanks, Truck and Tim. You can get your own at lugnutguys.com. They're awesome sponsors. They sponsor my channel, Jay's, Dalton, let's see who else, Mortsky. Great company, great guys. Hit them up, get you some lug nuts. And thanks for subbing to Jay. You got a good friend like Jay, man. We Snapchat each other all the time now. It used to be text message, but we came up in the world and we're Snapchatting now like a couple of youngsters. But when you got good friends like that, I want to make sure they're getting support too. Thank you, Wisconsin Andersons. Yep. Everybody go give Jay some love. See ya, Lars. Thanks for stopping in. Lars is pretty awesome too. He has some really funny content. Can I do that, Jay? Can I make you join? I haven't even figured out how to flip the screen yet. that's starting a poll. Let's see this one. Chat filter, got that. What does this do? Nope, not gonna tag any products today. Apparently it's highlighted to my channel. Well, I haven't figured it out, Jay, but if I go live again, we'll try to figure it out. Or you go live and figure it out, and then I'll just join you maybe. I do have some stuff to get done today, but I'll tell you what. You guys want to see the boat? Nobody else is getting to see it because I haven't finished the video yet. See if I can sneak in here or not, because it has a garage. So stand by. And I'm going to help convert it into a living space as well as have garage space. But for now, it's a big open shop. Nice shop. But we're going to come in here, put a wall up down that way, and all that's going to be living space. It's already got a bathroom. We're going to have laundry room, kitchen, living room, bedroom, closet, all that stuff. But in the meantime, I get to store my boat here. This is the cheapest boat with a title I could find in Oklahoma. And it is not perfect. It's pretty rough. But when I got it, I was told it only sat for a few years and that all it needed was a starter. But instead, let me find my light switch here. Instead, I dug this apart and found out it's probably been a decade since that was serviced, so I had to pretty much go through the entire outdrive and rebuild it. The swim step was falling off because the bolts had rusted on the inside. These are stainless, so I had to redo all that. And of course the engine, which was supposed to just be a starter and make it run, was completely locked up and full of water. So this engine is out of Brian Vantana. I pulled him out to put the V8 in, and I have had him fired up. If you follow Instagram, Facebook, you've seen that I've had this running. It does run. The outdrive is now working. But then I wanted to fix the floor because it had a sag spot in it, and I have chased that rot all the way up. You can tell, even that's a little dark here, but this is solid. But I've cut all of that floor out, all this floor out. It's all gone. Unfortunately, that's a lot more work than what I'd intended, which was to get a boat running and driving and on the water and then, probably sell it. So it's unfortunate, but it's where it's at. But I do have all new flooring. Well, I got what is it? Pressure treated wood I'm putting down on the floor, and then flooring to go over top of it. I got these seats off of Amazon, so it'll have new seats. And then we're going to polish this thing up and get it on the water, maybe even paint it at some point. But either way, it'll be for sale, because on this lake, for you to be out on a busy weekend, this boat's not big enough. I'm just going to say that. These are called bobber boats or puker boats because you will bob around in the water and end up just throwing up. So it'll be for sale soon. Slightly more than $400, which is what I paid for it. But to get around on this lake, you need either a big tri-tune, I guess pontoon boat, but tri-tune really. You need that third pontoon in the middle, or you need something over 30-some feet, like 34, 36 feet. A lot of the guys are riding around in stuff that's in the 40s. We just got a boat here on the 4th of July weekend that is apparently a USC football player, and I don't remember his name, but he bought a Lamborghini. We're gonna go for a roll. So this thing is a Lamborghini boat. I think it's like 63 foot long, something like that, and it's got two Lamborghini V12s in it. And it's ridiculous. And while it's not Blake Shelton's boat, Blake Shelton was hanging out on it on the 4th of July. We've got pictures of that. So we get a lot of fairly famous people down here at the lake. But if you want to get out on the water, you got to have a bigger boat. It's like a Jaws episode. All right, Jay, see you later. Getting run over. Yeah, Mitchell, that's basically what happened. I was trying to fix one little sagging spot because we thought that was the only problem. And when I cut it out, I found, mold and rot. So I cut a little further and I cut a little further, and basically a full day later, there you go. It's got no floor now. But it's all dried out and hopefully ready to go back together. Thanks, Hunter, for stopping in. All I can say is there's a lot of money here at the lake, and eventually I'd like to have a little bit of it. I know it ain't going to be from YouTube. So I'm getting into talks with folks about maybe starting up a little side business here. I've had a lot of interest from people who have boats. They just want them serviced, and I can tell you after redoing this boat, it's not difficult. I could probably service a whole boat in a few hours. Just depends on the boat, I guess. But it's not difficult. So I could squeeze a boat or two in here and there. Probably make a pretty good little side money there. Of course, there's always golf carts and stuff like that people need worked on too. I don't want to get too caught up in that, but I definitely think that there's an opportunity there to make a little side money when I'm not filming a video. And then I wouldn't be stuck at work every single week because I would be home, and home is work, right? That's the idea. I saw a question about what lake I'm at. I'll just turn it around and show you. Grand Lake, Oklahoma. So I live on the northwest corner, and it's a massive lake. That's all I can say. It is absolutely huge. Boats everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's boats. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. I love living here. It's not all just old people. It's not all just young people partying on the weekends. We get a little bit of both. Then we get some old people partying, that's always fun. All right, that 70s channel, you did not get a notification. Well, I will say that YouTube's probably mad at me because I was churning out content like crazy and they weren't really paying me for what I felt I should have been getting. So I shouldn't complain at all, but I kind of went on a little strike to get off the algorithm, and then in the process that kind of spiraled, and it became, well, then I got sick and I didn't have money, and then just, yeah, it spiraled. That's why you haven't seen this latest video yet, because I kind of had one thing pile up and then another. So I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry you didn't get a notification. Wisconsin, I hope so. Golf carts are the thing down here. A lot of people do have side-by-sides. But the way I look at it, and the reason why I don't have a side-by-side, is for the cost of one, I could just buy a car or two or three. And that would generally serve my purpose of driving around the lake here. I like the golf cart because it's fairly quiet. This one's not electric, obviously. I like gas over electric, but it's fairly quiet and it has a small footprint. It doesn't take much to get around the whole place, and I'm not firing up a car and, dealing with that. But burnt finger, YouTube is life. Well, it can be. we've had a few things pop up in our family life that has definitely distracted me from YouTube. But there was a time when I pretty much lived and breathed YouTube every moment of every day. And I was in all the live streams. I was doing my own live stream once a week. And while that was hugely successful, it didn't pay very well. And it really took me away from the rest of the stuff in my life. So it's a balance. So I definitely enjoy YouTube and I enjoy interacting with everybody on here, but you got to balance it. Thanks, Tim. I love the thumbs up. Those are always great. 70s channel says opposite happened. Taking a little break and then got serious. 18,000 views. That's pretty awesome. I've had some mild success with shorts, but nothing great. I'll put a video out on Facebook or put a video out on YouTube, just a short, and it doesn't do very good. But then I put it out on TikTok and, 20-some thousand views. So whatever platform gets them going, I guess. Out of nowhere, all the metrics look exactly the same, except for YouTube is sending it to 90% less people now than ever. So, yeah, YouTube is fickle. It definitely changes its mind with the day as to what it's going to support. If you just happen to hit all of the key algorithm at the right time, like I did with the square body video, it's going to blow up. Before that, I did a video and it did very well, and then I also appeared in one of Dalton's videos at the same time, and my video was already doing well, and then got into Dalton's video and got even all those people, and so it not only picked up all of my views and hit the algorithm, but then when Dalton's subscriber push came, it went nuts, and I ended up getting up to 50,000 subscribers in that time frame, just from Dalton and hitting the algorithm. I mean, I love the Dalton bump. That's what I call it. When I go hang out with him, I've said I don't need to be in the video. I don't need to make my own video. I've gone there several times and never been in a video or made my own with him in it. But the Dalton bump is always nice. Caprice Classic. So that was not my car. I was trying to help somebody out and work on that car, and that car wasn't the one he wanted me to work on, but that's the one that got all the views. It actually took off, and when I wanted to go back and work on that car, he still wanted me to work on this other car. But what it came down to, and I think Tony's a great guy. He's who I was working on that car for, but I no longer live anywhere near there. It would be like a 5 or 6 hour drive to even get there. But the point I'm making is it's not my car. So all the time and money and effort I spent on it, I would have to travel to get there. All of the stuff he has been underwater and would require a lot of time and effort to disassemble everything, get it all working back on the road. And unfortunately, that's what I was trying to go for, but they were all too far gone to just fire up and get back on the road. So the right thing to do is he needs to have the engine pulled on that one and the transmission pulled on that one. He needs to gut the drivetrain, basically brakes, the rear end, everything, and have it all redone and put back together. That's what really needs to happen on the Caprice. That's what needs to happen on the Oldsmobile. They just need to be gutted. And I'm not saying take the car apart and don't try to fix it. I'm saying get the engine running and driving and then start figuring everything else out. But to do that, you need to pull the engine, do what I think it's Jay at Irish Outlaw Garage. I think Dalton does it too. You do the dingle ball hone, go in there and clean it out. That'd be great. I just don't have the time or the money to go do it. So it's unfortunate that I can't get back up there and do it. But he doesn't have another project that I could just, turn and get on the video and move on. I just don't have time to do a large scale project. And I've been asked multiple times. People they're willing to pay thousands of dollars for me to restore whatever it is they have. Well, I'm not a certified mechanic and I'm not a restoration expert. I would love to take your money, but I just don't have the time. Hello, Halfwit. Yes, $2 garage. It is very finicky. You have to hit it just right. Let's see. YouTube, when I started YouTube, it was all about the shorts. If you could put out an award-winning short that got tons of views, your channel would grow. And I made a good friend who has a channel called Dudes with Wrenches. Great channel. Unfortunately, there's no money in shorts. And he tried to convert it to a long-form video channel, and he has good long-form videos, but all of his subs were based on shorts. And when you got a crowd, we'll call them the TikTok crowd who watch YouTube shorts, when you got that crowd watching your videos, they don't want to invest the time it takes to watch a long video, not even 15 minutes, let alone what YouTube right now is pushing is the hour-long video. So yeah, you got a guy that builds over 100,000 subs off of shorts, and then he can't make any money off of it. So it's unfortunate, but that's how it works. So right now, they do like collaborations. They're starting to learn that people would rather have a YouTube community to go to than just an instant fix like TikTok. Let TikTok do its thing. It's working for them. People like it. People are making money, getting famous, but I just do it to promote videos and bring you back to the channel. But that is a quick way to get more subs on YouTube, is collaborate. All right, so Jeremy Smith has an 04 Chevy Silverado. So the GMT 800. A lot of people have those trucks, and a lot of people are struggling. So if you're going to make a video about it, make it. I hate how-to videos. The only time I like them is when I need to learn something, and I watch that, 30 seconds to a minute of video, and then I never go back to that channel again. I'm that guy, and I'm sorry, but the best thing you could do for a GMT 800 is teach me how to fix the obvious problem that's happening that I can't figure out. I did a video early on in my channel where I had a flooded floor in my Avalanche, and it happened every single year. I couldn't figure out where it's coming from. Well, in the video, I figured out where it's coming from, and I fixed it, and I've gotten a ton of response off that, but I don't get any long-term viewers, and I don't get a lot of money off of that video. My trending video that gets paid every single week is getting on a bus and going down to Texas and getting the free GTP. And people make fun of me for getting that car, people make fun of me for that video, and yet it pays me every single week. So you never know what's gonna hit. Yeah, I can't believe the GMT 800s are getting nostalgia. Like, I was shocked when the square body went from $500 to $5,000. I was shocked when the OBS, as they call it, or the GMT 400s, all of a sudden shot up in price. Because when I got my 3/4 ton Suburban, I basically did it, I traded it for work that I did on somebody else's vehicle. And I've already been offered $5 grand for it. So it's ridiculous. Mitchell, hey Adam, nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. Yep, I agree, Mitchell. The shorts are a pain. I mean, they can get somebody in the door, but to keep them, you got to have good content. You got to have plenty of it. So I'm really appreciative of every one of you guys dropping in. I recognize I have failed at YouTubing lately, and my goal is to not pull a Cody and not die, but actually come back and be, pumping videos back out. Where is the car? Well, it's sitting at my family farm in Kansas. The transmission had failed. I can get it to go into gear and move forward and backwards, but not for very long, and then it fails. I have been offered multiple transmissions, but if you know anything about the Grand Prix GTP, you've got to drop everything out from the front of the vehicle, just drop it down and disassemble it all, put it back together. None of the transmissions offered are new or even rebuilt. They're just, hey, I have this transmission, I think it works. So when I'm going to go put that much effort into a car, I would want to make sure that everything works before I put it back together. Having said that, I love the free GTP. It's a great little car, but it's showing its age, being in that it's a 98 and it sat in the Texas sun for decades. It's got funny things like the dash is starting to peel. All of the 90s tint is peeling off. The paint is fading, and just in the last year, the clear coat started to bubble up. The actual not gauges, the what do you call those things? The badges on the side of the car are literally melting off of the car. So I know it's just been from sitting in Texas, and all the plastics on the side are starting to fall off. So it's still there. It's still sitting there. But I'm afraid that if I'm not going to completely restore it, then it really shouldn't be my car. So maybe at some point I'll sell it. But to do that, yeah, I'll leave it at that. At some point I might have to sell it, because it's one of those, like so many of them, if the project needs a lot more time and money than I have to spend on it, I need it to go to somebody who's going to do that, because I don't want to be the guy that just has it sitting and say, oh, I'm going to fix it someday. I'm not going to do that. And that's unfortunately where the red car is right now, but I'll probably be getting rid of it. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, free GTP. It was a good running car until I burned up the transmission. Chuck and Tim, thank you for all the support. And all of you guys, I appreciate you dropping in. I can't thank you enough. I know I've kind of failed you, and I will make it up. So just keep watching. I've got stuff that's coming out, and you know, you saw the boat. It's coming around. It'll be out on the water. Not on today though. It's too windy out today, but it will be. And then Brian Van Tannen, as soon as I go get him, I have to put a drive shaft in him, and then he's back on the road. And then the slammed pre, I need to get it down here in concrete and start working on it. So it'll unfortunately be one of those projects, the slam pre, where you're gonna get parts and parts and parts, because that is one car that no matter what I will never get rid of. And people don't like those videos. They want to see a car you pick up out of a field or a barn and get running and driving. That's what they want to see. But Slam Pre is the car I love more than anything. I could sell everything and keep that car and be happy. But it doesn't do as well on videos. But I will get a video out on it. Let's see. Catching up on... Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. I will get you more videos. And Jeremy, I've learned a different way. It's not the better way. Dalton has told me how to do it, and Dalton is right, but I don't have the speed, the stamina, or the financial backing that he has created for himself. So until I get there, this is the speed we're at. Dudes with wrenches, we were just talking about you, man, and there you are. So this is the guy I was telling you about. Great guy, cool cars. I mean, he loves cars as much as the rest of us, and probably more in many ways. But go check out his channel, give him some love. Yes, Half-Wit Lab. He has the cleanest, most beautiful GMT 800 I've ever seen. Better than factory. I'm telling you, this thing is beautiful. I would have never thought that somebody would put the kind of time and love into a truck that he has, but it's gorgeous. I absolutely was just floored by that truck. Yep, Dudes with Wrenches, just talking about you. Rick, I apologize, I've been hiding. If you want to go back and catch the first part of the live, you can kind of see where all that came from. I don't want to kind of rehash it all, but basically several things culminated at once, and it caused me to kind of fall off the ether. But I'm back, and going to be wrapping up about 3 videos coming out, and you know, they'll come out in succession. But once those roll, hopefully we're back on it and gaining subs and views and all that stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Mitchell, Kevin is an example that if you stick in there long enough, you can succeed at it. So I was expecting growth from the very beginning of my YouTube channel, and there was some, but it wasn't ridiculous. And then after a year, it started to pick up. And then once I got enough videos in the catalog and started collaborating, going to all the different events, I learned the algorithm. And after that, it kind of smoothed out. Now I'm off the algorithm. I'm pretty much off YouTube right now. But hopefully I know the formula, or I'm going to catch the formula again and roll back up and just see where it takes me. Let's see. All is well, Rick, I promise. I was sick for a little bit, had some family issues, money issues, work issues, just all different types of stuff. But we're catching back up. I had to sell my house in Burlington because it was more of a burden than a help. And thankfully it sold in less than a week. So that'll be a little bit extra funds. We'll get a shop going here at the lake. And with all that, you're going to see a lot more content. Let's see. Yep, half-wit. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. All right. Well, let's see what's coming up. I told you guys I've got the vehicles videos coming. I'm always looking for the next project. So if you guys learn of something decent price, let me know. I, of course, am always looking at Marketplace, even when I didn't have the money to spend. But it's just one of those things you do. You're always looking for the next one. I thought a boat would be interesting and fun, especially in the summer, and found out it was a nightmare. It's everybody says, why don't you just buy a nice boat, just get in it and ride around in it? Well, two reasons. Number one, they usually already have one and I can just jump in their boat. But also, I don't want the payment. I don't want all of that. I like building stuff. I like taking something that doesn't work and making it work. So I chose the wrong format. Boat was not the one. But I'll get it knocked out, get it out to you guys, hopefully sell it, make a little money off of it, and then we'll go from there. Maybe I can get a ride on a Lamborghini boat this summer. Maybe. If I do, I will take pictures and video, and no doubt you guys will get to see it. I got pictures of it, but I wasn't on it, and I feel like it's not doing it justice. I need to get on that boat and then show you guys. Let's see. JB, you don't have to worry about YouTube money, man. You're a legend without it. JB's Little Shop, go check him out. He is a great guy, super hilarious, and yeah, I've known him quite a while. Good dude. And one of my favorites is go to his video. You can see cool car content, and then he's got sharpening videos. So if you like to get like really into watching a video that takes you through all the steps, like some people like to watch lawn mowing videos. That's not really my thing, but I get why that's fun to watch. JB's got these sharpening videos, and I'm telling you, they're fun to watch. Yeah. Exactly, Rick. I'm cheap. I don't like to spend money on anything. I will spend money on a car that I think's worth it. I'll spend money on a person that I think's worth it. But I have no desire to have a car payment. I don't have a desire to have a boat payment. I don't even want a house payment. That's why I'm selling the one in Burlington, and I don't expect to have another house payment. Yeah, Mitchell, that's kind of what I did. I found the cheapest boat. I got him down to $400, and I had a title for the boat and a title for the trailer. And I thought, a title alone, the trailer's worth $500 with a title. And the boat with a title in Oklahoma, they usually go for $1,000. And I've already spent $1,000 on this stupid boat. So probably should have just spent $1,500 and had one that worked. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Yep, dudes with wrenches will tell you. YouTube money's not, and I'll tell you, it's not that YouTube doesn't pay, because they do, but this is where the money comes from, right here. And I'm not trying to tell all of y'all you have to buy merch, but I have figured out the way to get the nicest merch at the cheapest price, and That way you guys are getting the highest quality stuff and I'm making a few bucks off of it. That's how you support a channel. That's how people like Dalton and Kevin were able to make it full-time job. YouTube alone doesn't pay. You need sponsorships and you need to sell merch. So that's what we're doing. 6%, how are you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Something's here. And yes, Wisconsin Anderson, you know, a boat is a hole in the water that you dump money into, and that has definitely been the case. But hopefully the video is awesome. Hopefully you guys will like it when I get it edited and up. But it's been a pain. Let's see, I've been on here almost an hour, which YouTube likes that hour-long algorithm, even for lives. And I've still got a few of you guys watching, so thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Do you guys have any other questions for me other than where the hell have I been? Because I think I've answered it. I'm still here, still alive, doing much better than I was. Halfwit, I'll tell you, if you don't think you have to do it right or perfect, you can get by with doing a lot for a little, especially when it comes to car world. Case in point, a side-by-side these days will cost you 20, 30 grand, 40 after you modify it. You can go buy, like JD did, you can go buy a Kia and modify it all you want for less than $1,000 bucks. Thank you, Rick. That's gonna be stuff I'm gonna start putting on the adventure channel once I'm gonna get the first video up soon, and hopefully more to come. Mitchell, how much do I want? Hit me up, buffsgarage@gmail.com. If you throw me a good enough offer, I'll probably just let it go. If you want the transmission swap before I do it, then obviously the offer will have to come up. But I'm looking to just make it go away. It runs great, but it has all the typical GMT 800 problems. I've replaced the front hubs, replaced brake calipers and rotors. Hell, I've replaced the whole rear end. I've got a wheel that's off in a cornfield somewhere. I mean, it's got issues, but it does run and drive. It just doesn't like, you know, third or fourth very well. So if you guys see something on my channel and you want to buy it, hit me up on email or whatever and let me know what you're willing to pay, and you never know. I let some stuff go really cheap that I wasn't planning to let go, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to work on it. It ain't going to be me. Dudes with Wrenches has a Mustang video right now. 80 days and counting. Yep, well, that's how it works, man. I get it. Family is the most important thing. Yeah, so Halfwit, there's nothing wrong with getting, you know, the desire, you know, to having that desire to put everything into it and make it right. There's nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, what do they say? I can't even remember the saying right now, but basically, make it good enough, you don't have to make it great. I don't know the saying. One of my neighbors. But sometimes you just need to get it on the road and going, and then fix it up along the way. Too many times we take them all the way apart and then we never get them going again. And it's kind of like my 3rd gen Trans Am that I own, that I have to move because I sold the house and it's still sitting in the garage. That one I tore down because I was going to do this and that and put this suspension and this engine and put a full cage in it, and I tore it out to do all that because that's what I saw you would do in all the TV shows and everything I ever watched. That's what you do. In the meantime, I had a car that rolled and everything worked except it needed an engine and trans, and if I would have just put an engine and trans in it, it would have been running and driving, and I could have fixed it up along the way. But I've been, you know, not having my 80s mullet greatness for the last 4 years because I decided to tear it apart instead of just get it running. So Rick, editing is a pain if you give a crap at all. If you just cut and paste and just make it quick, and what they call it quick cuts, if you do that, it's not as difficult. But you do all those quick cuts for an hour-long video, it gets a little bit time consuming. if you actually put time into, okay, I want to kind of get the perfect music in the background, but it can't be copyrighted music, and then you want it to fade out to a certain thing, or I need this specific type of shot. Yeah, you turn a one-day editing job into a week. It happens quick. Everyone in my family knows that if I'm editing, let me be, because if I'm on a roll with editing, it may take the whole day, but then it's done. $2 garage. The last big video took 6 months. Yep. Start to finish, it can. Well, all right, guys, my phone is blowing up, so apparently somebody saw something they wanted, and they're trying to buy stuff. So I appreciate every one of you guys coming out and supporting me and the channel, and I apologize again for not getting you regular content, but I will get back to that very, very soon. And in the meantime, I have some work to do, so I better go do that, answering some emails and messages. But guys, just hang in there. I'll be back, and hopefully better than ever. And thank you guys for supporting Buff's Garage.